Okay, hello, I'm Tactical Beetle here, live stream Emblem, and this is a new series that I am starting tonight, called Let's Make an Emblem. So, basically, whenever I'm doing this, whenever I'm streaming this series, shoot a comment right on the sidebar there, and tell me what you want to see. You know, I've made tons of stuff, tons of different kinds of stuff. Well over 150 emblems on Black Ops 2, but I never got to stream anything or show anything because my internet was shitty and I didn't have a capture card. My internet is still shitty, but now I have a capture card for the PlayStation 4 built in, so that's how I'm doing this now. But as you can see, I have a variety of emblems to showcase, different levels. This is probably the most detailed one, my Dragonborn. So I'm actually going to delete one of these, probably Jake, just because Jake is pretty basic. It's not very hard to remake if I wanted to. Death was pretty difficult, not too bad though. Raichu was pretty awesome. That was off the top of my head. I didn't even have a picture for that. What else? This Black Ops 3 Trace is... I'd even pre-order the game digitally, so this isn't even a one piece emblem like the actual emblem piece is when you pre-order the game through the PlayStation Store. This is all 32 layers in separate pieces, and it's better than the actual single emblem. That's the one I'm rocking right now. I usually rock that one because I am beyond stoked for Black Ops 3. I'll probably end up deleting this Death because it's just old. Just delete that now. But today, because this is a brand new series and I haven't had anybody to suggest anything, I am gonna just make a Vault Boy. For anyone watching this, and for the one person that's watching this, that's what I'll be making today. Just his head, not his body. Granted, there are 32 layers. It requires a whole lot more to make to his entire body, and I've tried, trust me. So I'm just gonna jump into this. I'm not gonna rush it. There's no reason to rush it. It usually takes me about 15-20 minutes to make a pretty decent emblem. A little bit longer if I'm really trying to get certain details and certain shading spots from my reference photo into the emblem. But usually roughly 15-20 minutes. That's like the hit or miss mark. So let's just jump into this and let's get started. So let's see. Trying to find a good emblem piece to meet the curve of his face. Thinking honestly just this. Yeah, I think that'll work. So let's give that a little bit of an angle. As much fun as emblem making is on this, and as much fun as it was on Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1 had the best emblem creating system because it required a whole lot more skill to make a certain emblem, because you couldn't warp the shapes, you couldn't, add the transparency or the, can't remember the fucking word for it, opacity. You couldn't edit that. You just had to you had to use what was given to you and enlarge it or minimize it as much as you possibly needed to get the shape you wanted from that emblem. It all started there for me when I watched DPJ, I can't remember his name, DPJ on YouTube make his Pokeball and Pokemon emblems. That's where it first started for me. That's where I was like, fuck man, I don't want to make emblems. And I tried making some emblems early on just to try to see if I can remake his without the actual video, and it was hard. I don't know how he did it, but then I started figuring it out little by little, and I'm happy I did because I fucking love making emblems. I love making good emblems that look nice and look appealing to the eye. Because when you see a good emblem online when you're playing, you know that person who made the emblem either really took their time making it or cheated and watched a YouTube emblem. Because the way, I mean, not cheated, that's how I feel about emblems now. Because there's so many things you can make, you know, you don't have to watch a YouTube video, but some people still watch them. And it's kind of contradicting now, because now that I'm starting YouTube, I'll be posting this on my channel, so it doesn't really make much sense anymore to say, oh, you know, watching a YouTube emblem to make an emblem is cheating. But that's just how I feel. I haven't used a YouTube emblem since Pokeball emblems and Black Ops 1. Like, I haven't used them, haven't cared to. God, let's just focus on this instead of talking about the past. Get this just right. Because there is a slight curve in the bottom of his neckline. If you don't see it now, bear with me. It'll start coming together piece by piece. Trust me. I've made him before, and it turned out pretty well. But I deleted it till I made another emblem. So just bear with me and stick it through if you'd be so kind. That sounded funny. Just trying to find the right piece to really. There we go. That might work. You know, I like the way that one looks. So let's do this. Yeah, that works. I like that. And then let's see. Let's see if this works. Might have to make his head a little bit longer. Okay, let's go good. If certain pieces stick out, it's alright, because this is not the final form, final draft of emblem. I usually clean it up at the end, like most people do with anything they do. So don't worry if certain pieces don't line up properly. I will make sure the pieces that need to line up will line up. So the reason I picked the Vault Boy, not only because it's pretty simple to make, there's not really much detail in him, but because I'm a huge Fallout fan, and I didn't play the PC Fallouts. I played Fallout 2 for a little bit on my cousin's computer, but I was like really young on that, and I didn't really know what I was doing. And then huge fan of Fallout 3. Fallout 3 was amazing. Played that game way too much. Clocked in way too many hours on that game. And then after I did majority of the missions on that, because I bought all the DLCs and did that kind of stuff. After I did that, Fallout became pretty much a dead game in my collection. You know, it was cool to go back to every now and then, but not too often. Because then Skyrim came out, and Skyrim was awesome for a while for the same thing. Skyrim was a different story though. Skyrim had a lot more missions and side quests to do, and it had the AI where the AI itself would create missions if you were to complete all the more missions you did. The AI itself in the game would create more quests. So you pretty much had a never-ending supply of quests if you wanted them. Most people didn't want them. I didn't want them. I didn't want to do that many fucking quests. That's just me though. So it's colors here. I think I'm gonna need to custom color this hair because that's too dark and that's too light in my opinion. So let's tone it down a little bit. See what this does. This green. I like that color. Let's save that color. Oh, it's alright. Tell me if that looks alright. Tell me if that looks good. Oh, 2 new watchers. Thank you for tuning in and checking this out. As in the title, series I call Let's Make an Emblem. Today making the Vault Boy because I just started this and I haven't had anybody suggest anything else. So if you want to suggest something, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. At Martin's So Cool. Cool is spelled K-E-W-L. I know that's kind of lame. It's my old Twitter. I've had that Twitter for a very long time. So let's keep going. I think that works pretty nicely. That mustache part. A little bigger. There we go. Let's make this skin color so I don't like the way it looks. And skin color is really hard to really get the right tone, like no matter what. Even in Black Ops 2, it was really hard to get that perfect color. It was kind of simple with Black Ops 1 because you didn't have choices. You didn't have a really large option of colors. You just had to use what you were dealt. But this, it's difficult to get that one specific color that you want because it's either too yellow or it's too pale. Like it's just not right. That's just how that's how I. Because he is pale from being in that vault for the last 200 years. Just kidding. He's just the spokes mascot of the Vault Tech. For all of you that didn't know that, I'm sure you guys did know that though. I'm sure you guys did. Let's finish his hair. Let's go back to his hair. Thinking this piece will look good right here. Switch the favorites. So let's go like this, maybe? Gotta remember, his hairline actually gets wavy, so I gotta keep that in mind. That doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's a little bit off, but it's not gonna be too weird, right? Doesn't look too bad. Okay, that was alright. I'm happy with that. No, I'm not. I'll fix it later. Okay. Let's keep this rolling. Let's fill in his face. Nope. Shit. Colors, switch to favorites. His face a little bit fat. That was good. I like that. I like the angle the back of his head is at. Okay, so it's eyeball there. That was pretty good. Eyeball. Let's see. Look alright. I'm gonna try this one. Yeah, that looks good. Make it a little bit thicker. How's that work? More of an angel? There we go. That was pretty good like that. I want that to overlap a little bit. Not too much though. Let's try different piece real fast. If you have to, just bring it back behind his head. No, actually that works. That works out pretty nicely. Yeah, perfect. I like. Kind of has like almost like a horseshoe shape. I don't think we're gonna be able to get that, but we'll try. Definitely try. Actually, we might be able to. Yeah, that actually works out pretty nicely, that shape. So let's put that. Yeah, like that. It goes in pretty far into his hairline. And then, what can we use for that? Something like this. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Feels awesome. Let's actually enlarge it just a little bit. Right there. Right there. Cool. And all we need is pretty much like one more bump or like wave in his hair. Making just this. No, not gonna work. I wonder. Let's see. Actually, you know what? I think this piece will do just fine. That was pretty good. I wish I had a little filler layer to fill it up. Color. How many layers we got? Okay, just under 10. We have 8 layers, and it's coming along pretty nicely. Yeah, I'm gonna fix that smile. That point in the smile is just bugging me. There we go. So like that. I gotta make sure that everything is below those layers, because it'll look weird if it's not. There. Oh, where is that? Well, that's the mustache. Oh yeah, that worked out perfectly actually. Now we gotta actually add an outline around his hair, because I think that'll be more important than the outline around his face. That's another thing too. You gotta really pick on what layers or what details are more important than the other. That's what I tend to do. I tend to pick. I try to get the most important detailed pieces. Which one is it right there? So we're almost out of layers, but I'm not worried about it. It's okay, because we're gonna go through and see if certain things can be removed and certain layers can be added. Where is that piece at? This one? Oh no, it's all the way under his hair, that's right. Let's gotta connect this part. Circle piece. Circle piece. See, his hairline was kind of funky because it's not exact. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that, but it doesn't look too bad. Okay, so I didn't like the smile, so I deleted it. So let's make a different smile, because the other one was just not looking right to me, and I think we can do a better job. So let's try this, because it still goes with the angle of the face, so it still works. It's just not as actually I think it looks better. It still works with the angle of the face. And it's only 2 layers instead of having what was it, like 6 layers for just the face, so it still works. Yeah, it still works out. Add a little chin dimple, whatever you want to call it. That looks pretty nice. So now, let's add that little side tuft of hair to this over here. Bring it all the way back behind his head. Let's add his eyebrows. A good piece. What is it like? Black. There we go. That looks pretty good to me. Now let's add those little lines on the side of his head, like over here, like where his fade would be at. Where his fade would be at, sorry. Turns around. Something a little bit smaller. Cool. And I think we still have one layer. I think we might be able to add just a tad of shading, just to give it that little bit of an angle look. So let's try to do that. Let's try to give it a little bit of an angle, or some shading to give it that angle. What can we use? This might work. And we lower the opacity. Try to give it that good little hue with that tint. And sometimes I actually do just let it overlap so that it gives it that right look, because you can't really see it too well, especially when you lower the opacity like pretty low. You can't really see it. You can barely see it off the emblem itself, and you still have that good shading, so it looks like it's at that angle, you know, so it gives it that good solid look. Let's actually do a little bit more. I think that's a good spot. Well, it's pretty good. I think we're just about done. Yeah, and that's it. There we go. That's the Vault-Tec Vault Boy emblem, and that'll just about do it. So thanks for watching, guys. My first emblem video. I've been saying I want to do this for a while, and until next time, peace out.